is an audiobook of Interchange English, Grammar and Composition of Class 9. Chapter 14, Part 3. Unseen Text 18, page number 206. Read the given announcement and do the activities that follow. Student volunteers needed. On Saturday, December 12th, from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m., Paragon Middle School will be holding a music festival in the school gymnasium. The special event will feature a variety of professional musicians and singers. Task. Here's a table of task, time and date. Task: make poster, time 1 to 4 p.m., date December 5. Set up gym, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. December 11th. Help performers, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. December 12th. Welcome guest, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. December 12th. Clean up gym, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. December 12th. Interested students should speak with Miss Chaudhary, the music teacher. Students who would like to help at the festival must have written permission from a parent or guardian. Number A. This is show what you know. Number A. Match the words and phrases in column A with their meanings in column B. Column A. Interested, permission, guardian, guest, professional. Column B. Visitors, expert, approval or consent, fascinated or attracted, caretaker. Number B. Answer the following questions. A. What time will the festival begin? B. What job will be done the day before the festival begins? C. In line 2, the word feature is closest in meaning to number 1. Look, keep, include, or entertain. Fill in the gap. D. Who are told to talk to Miss Chaudhary? E. What are the students asked for if they would like to help at the festival? Unseen Text 19, page number 207. Read about a newlywed couple, Richard and Victoria. Then do the activities that follow. Considering their wedding cost over $20,000 and took a year and a half to organize, you would be surprised to hear that Richard and Victoria Hammond now intend to forget it. Well, almost. It was a wonderful wedding, an unbelievable day, says Victoria. But we have so much we want to do together now. We are both looking to the future. Her husband, banker and amateur race driver Richard, agrees. Both our minds are now fixed firmly on the future. I never forget our wedding ceremony or the reception we had at a cliffside hotel afterwards. But there's so much we want, so many hopes. Our marriage is so much more important than the wedding. At the moment, we are still living with my parents, explains Victoria. So our first wish is to find our own place. We intend to start looking for a new house with all the modern conveniences in the suburbs in the new year. Both Victoria and husband Richard have a lot of siblings. Do they intend to add to the extended Hammond family? We plan on having 2 or 3 children ourselves. Richard tells me. Victoria is just wonderful with children, and I can get 3 years paternity leave from my work, which is just perfect. The young couple has just returned from a 2-week honeymoon spent in an authentic Scottish castle. Both, though newlyweds, are big travel lovers, and Richard hopes this will continue. I would like to go traveling as much as possible together. Traveling with someone else is such a sharing experience. I think it's sad to experience all the wonderful places in the world and have no one else there. Victoria also has another great travel ambition that she might have to do alone. I've always been fascinated by safari, and my real wish is to go on safari. Richard has no interest in wildlife, though. And what about marriage itself? In a world with such a high divorce rate, how do Richard and Victoria hope to avoid all the problems that beset so many other couples? Richard explains thoughtfully that our ambition is to always talk to each other. If you stop communicating, what chance do you have? His wife goes along with that completely. I hope we can speak about things, but also not expect everything to be easy. I think many people expect the wedding to be the end of getting to know each other. I think it's the start. Show what you know. A. Fill in the blank with appropriate words from the story. A. Victoria thinks many people expect the blank to be the end of getting to know each other. B. Richard and Victoria Hammond now blank to forget their wedding. C. They agree that they have so much they want to do blank after the wedding. D. They want to find a new house in the blank in the new year. E. Both of them are big blank lovers. B. Write T for true and F for false statements. A. Victoria and Richard have been married for about a year and a half. B. They got married in a dramatic location. C. Richard can temporarily leave his job to look after his children. D. Victoria wants an old-fashioned house. E. They both have many brothers and sisters. C. Answer the following questions. A. What was their first ambition? B. Why did Richard want to have 2 or 3 children? C. Where did they enjoy their 2-week honeymoon? D. How are their tastes regarding vacations different? E. What is Victoria's view on wedding regarding getting to know each other? Unseen text 20, page number 208. Read the following email and do the exercises that follow. From Rihanna to Christy, subject, my trip to England. Dear Christy, today was the best day of my trip to England. I saw the cutest show of all. It was a marionette show. Marionettes are cute puppet-like figures. They are light and small and operated by strings. Stages for performance by people are bigger than for marionette show, so I sat up close. I learned that puppet theaters have been popular for centuries in Europe, Asia, and America. It was the biggest form of entertainment for Europeans in the Middle Ages. I think the little children marionettes are cuter, but the animal marionettes are the cutest of all. Let's see our show together when I get home. Your friend Rihanna. Show what you know. A. State whether the following statements are true or false. A. Stages for marionette shows are bigger than for performances by people. B. Rihanna does not like the marionette show. C. Rihanna likes the animal marionette most. D. Puppet theaters was the biggest form of entertainment for Europeans in the Middle Age. E. The puppet-like figures are operated by strings. B. Answer the following questions. A. Who wrote this email? To whom? B. What was the email about? C. How are marionettes? D. Why did Rihanna sit close to the stage? E. What historical facts did Rihanna learn about the puppet theaters? Unseen text 21, page number 209. Read the following letter and do the activities that follow. The Half Marathon Committee, Modern High School, Kathmandu, 10 May 2017. Dear Sir, Madam, as I am sure you already know, next month will see the beginning of the Have a Heart campaign to raise money for heart research. As part of popular support for this campaign, a group of students here at Modern High School have decided to organize a half marathon on 28 June. Of course, all the money that we hope to raise by doing this will go to Have a Heart. In order to raise as much money as possible, we are doing 2 things. Firstly, we are asking members of the public to sponsor individual runners in the race, and secondly, we are looking for institutional sponsors to help with fundraising. It is for this second reason that I am writing to you now. As the representative of Modern High School's Half Marathon Committee, I am writing to ask if your company would be willing to consider providing sponsorship for our event. What we had in mind, if you agree, is to put the sponsor's name on the numbers of each runner and on banners along the route as well as at the finishing line. We hope and believe that our sponsor will in this way gain a lot of positive publicity. It is difficult, of course, to make a request for a specific amount of money, but we are hoping that your company will sponsor us for rupees 10,000 or more, and will perhaps also contribute to the making of banners, etc. Should you be interested, please contact us at the above address. Thank you for considering our request. We look forward to hearing from you. Yours faithfully, Rohit Rai. Show what you know. A. Find the words from the letter that are similar in the meaning to the following words: curious, tough, give, obtain, movement. B. Write T for true and F for false. A. Rohit Rai has written the letter. B. They want to raise the money for building a library. C. The letter was written on 10 June 2017. D. They are organizing a half marathon. E. Rohit Rai is the representative of Modern High School. C. Answer the following questions. A. Who's the letter from? B. What do they want to raise money for? C. What are they organizing? D. How does Rohit Rai start the letter? E. What two kinds of sponsorship do they hope to get? Unseen Text 22, page number 210. Read the following passage and do the activities that follow. I always enjoy the drive into Marli. It is a good straight road with some pleasant views of the countryside on either side. There are woods and hills, villages and farms, and about halfway a large lake. And because there is rarely much traffic on the road, I can usually enjoy the view as I drive along. I was rather annoyed the other morning, therefore, when a small green car began to drive very close behind me. I went a little faster, hoping to leave the car behind. But whenever I slowed down, the little car caught up with me. The driver, a middle-aged man, was grinning and waving to me. However, I didn't recognize either him or the car. Again I began to drive a little faster, but the little car caught up with me whenever I slowed down. Perhaps I'm doing something wrong, I thought. I checked my lights and my indicator, but they were both in order, and I certainly had not got a puncture. The man was a lunatic, I decided. Feeling rather cross, I drove off very fast, leaving the small green car behind. I did not slow down until I got to Marli. There are some traffic lights just before you cross the railway bridge into Marli, and as it happened, the light turned red, and As I approached, I was still waiting there when the little green car caught up with me. The driver got out and tapped on my window. I opened it. "Can I help you?" I asked rather coldly. "I'm trying to help you," the man said. "You see, your number plate fell off about 15 miles back. I tried to attract your attention, but you didn't take any notice." Show what you know. A. Find the words that are similar to the following words: unbending, smiling, identify, irritated, fascinate. B. Answer the following questions. A. What was the road to Marli like? B. Why did Alex usually drive slowly? C. What did Alex do before he drove off very fast? D. Why did Alex stop at the railway bridge? E. Who was in the small green car? Unseen Text 23, page number 211. Read the following text and do the activities that follow. Tandem felt a little nervous as he entered the school gates. He was going back to his old school after 20 years, and it was a very strange experience. He crossed the schoolyard and walked towards the main entrance. He paused for a moment to examine the building. He could see his old classroom on the first floor. It had a broken window. It always had broken windows, he thought. Tandem pushed open the door and went in. It was exactly as he remembered it. The headmaster's study was on the left. The main staff room was on the right. While he was standing there, the door of the staff room opened and two teachers came out. He caught a glimpse of the room inside. There were teachers standing near the fire talking. Others were reading or correcting homework. Then the door closed again. Tandem decided to have a quick look round the school before calling on the headmaster. He passed classroom after classroom. When he came to his old classroom on the first floor, he paused for a moment. There was a lot of noise inside. There was always a lot of noise, he said to himself. Next, he came to the laboratories, physics, chemistry, and biology. These were new. He could see the boys inside, busy with experiments. And finally, he came to the library, where a few of the older boys working quietly. It all seemed so peaceful. Then a bell rang, and within seconds the corridor was full of noisy boys, all shouting and laughing. They were like a great flood, almost carrying Tandem along with them. He was glad when he finally reached the door of the headmaster's study. He knocked at the door and waited. "Come in," a voice called out. The headmaster stood up to greet him as he went in. He was an old man now, and Tandem hardly recognized him. "Good afternoon, Tandem," the headmaster said. "So you are an inspector now?" "Well, quite a few boys come back to visit their old school, but no one has ever come back to inspect it before." Show what you know. A. Match the words or phrases in column A with their meanings in column B. Column A, staff room, glimpse, experiments, flood, greet. Column B, trying to find something out, welcome, room for teachers, a lot of moving water, quick look. B, fill in the gaps with appropriate words or phrases. A, before he entered the school, Tandem blank to examine the building. B, through the open door blank, Tandem could see some teachers inside. C, everything was peaceful until blank. D, as he stood outside blank, a voice called out, "Come in." E, no one blank before, the headmaster told Tandem. C, answer the following questions. A, why was Tandem nervous? B, did Tandem recognize his old classroom? C, why was Tandem glad to reach the headmaster's study? D, why was it difficult for Tandem to recognize the headmaster? E, were all the teachers in the staff room talking? Unseen text 24, page number 213. Read the following passage and do the activities that follow. Mrs. Jones was 80 years old. She had a small black car and she loved driving it. She had been driving her car for 35 years and had not once been punished for a driving offense. One day, while coming home, she passed a red traffic light without stopping. A policeman saw this and took down the number of her car. Mrs. Jones come before the judge. He looked at her and said, "You're too old to drive a car. Your eyesight must be weak. You probably passed the red light because you didn't see it." Mrs. Jones did not say anything. She opened her bag and took out her sewing. She chose a needle with a very small thread out of the needle and handed both the needle and the thread to the judge, saying, "You drive your car yourself. Perhaps your eyesight is better than mine. Let's see whether you can thread this needle at the first attempt." The judge took the needle and tried to thread it. He made half a dozen attempts but did not succeed. The case against Mrs. Jones was dismissed. Show what you know. A. Find the words or phrases that are similar in meanings of the following words or phrases: crime, effort, lack in strength, most likely, triumph. TRIUMPH. B. Answer the following questions. A. How long had Mrs. Jones been driving her car? B. Why did she come before the judge? C. What did Mrs. Jones do at the first attempt? D. Whose eyesight was better, Mrs. Jones or the judge's? E. What was the result of the case? With this, we are ending chapter 14 and also section B or section 2 at page number 213.